recommend the Holt Accelerator to any financial startup because they have the rare combination of both expertise and connectivity with the full array of constituents that any startup needs.
It's really an intense program over 3 months working with some of the best advisors in Canada to help you focus on what are going to be your key milestones.
I think the most valuable thing for me was just getting to know my fellow teammates in the cohort. They inspire me every day and I've learned so much from all of them.
I mean, overall it's been pretty exceptional. I'm just happy that we've been able to be part of it.
There is moments in the program, most likely this is going to be the best one. Right now we're about to start the final demo day, the big show. Big investors, a ton of people, the Holden family, so it's going to be great.
Well, with the Holt Accelerator, the experience has been amazing. They've been very supportive.
All right, let's go.
the stage your host,
I am already choking on the stage right now, everybody. Yes, I do want to mention that this smoke is actually from time traveling and not from your local SQDC provider, by the way, just down the street. Yeah, that's right. I am from Holt Accelerator, and I'm actually from the future. How far in the future are you ask? I'm from 2028. And so traveling through time is incredibly painful. Yeah, it's true. There is no leg room in economy class. Now, you probably have a lot of questions right now, so I'm here to help you out and explain a couple things. The legalization of marijuana has left all Canadians incredibly chilled right now. Weed stocks, way overpriced right now. Yeah. And, actually the best bet right now was brownie stocks. Way up in price, it's true. Global warming, actually a thing. Now, unfortunately, most of southern Ontario is under the Great Lakes. Montreal, well, we get 4 months of summer. And the Habs, I hate to break it to everybody, they're not going to win this year, but that young, promising team will win the Cup when the Nordiques come back to the NHL.
Hey, Nordiques.
All right, so I'm not here to talk about trivial things like weed and the Habs and, well, global warming, but I am here to talk about the FinTech Accelerator, which is a FinTech Accelerator, the Holt FinTech Accelerator, part of this global FinTech tsunami that's happening. And so for some of you who actually don't know, we traveled around the world and we had over 400 applications for this process. That's right. And we had it from over 49 different countries. Yeah. That's great. And a big reason a lot of this was all possible was because, and I'm very fortunate and very humbled to say that we had over 150 advisors that had supported many of you in the room right now. And a lot of these advisors work at banks, work at VCs, or serial entrepreneurs. And they were all laser focused for our teams. It's all about closing them a deal. Right, what kind of deal? I'm talking deals with financial institutions for a customer or institutional VCs to close their fundraising round. And the result of all this effort is that we saw that the combined company valuations of these 30 teams has now reached $80 million.
They work hard for the money.
All right, so I am from the future, and I did want to come back with a message. And don't worry, it's approved by our time-traveling ethics committee. It's not breaking the space-time continuum, apparently. And that message is simple. The banks of the future do not exist. Now that I got the bankers' attention in the room, I will say that, yes, it's because of the giant technology companies, it's the tech fins from China and the hundred thousands of fintechs that are now present. And they all came to eat your lunch, right? And so there's only one way to prevent this from happening. And that's actually to partner and work with them. And so some of you say, okay, we're already doing this, Jan. We've done the last several years, 40 deals, proof of concepts, and of which 4 became implemented, right? That's great. It's a good pilot first process. We're going to have to triple that conversion, though, right? And then when we get there, we're going to have to increase tenfold the amount of deals that you do. And once you get there, you have to realize you have to do this each and every single year. And by the way, you have 5 years to do it. But there is light at the end of this dark tunnel, and that light just happens to be the Holt FinTech Accelerator. And so we went around the world and found 13 of the best teams that are ready and willing to work with you. And you're going to see them on this very stage, and they're going to carry you into the future. Cool? So I guess we can clap to that. Let's clap to that. Yeah. All right, so I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right into it, and we're going to go to our first segment of lending. And so there's a well-known financial principle that everyone should have a little bit of debt, right? There's an optimum level of debt. The challenge is not everyone can get that debt because they don't have a credit history. In 2028, everyone has a credit history. It doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your country, and it's transversal. It goes anywhere with you. And not having one is so 2018. This brings people online. This brings people who were previously in poor positions to break through societal barriers. And this next team is all about breaking barriers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for our first team. They were at first living on a prayer, but it turned this into a reality. Welcome Abe and Dave from Kuru.
Thank you so much, Daniel, and hello, everybody. I am David Potter, the CEO of Kuru. As a kid, I grew up in poverty and moved to a new town almost every single year. As I grew older, though, I discovered my passion in finance and earned a full-ride scholarship from Bill Gates. In university, thank you. In university, I met Ab Kapoor, who is an absolute whiz with algorithms. But unfortunately, when we were applying for housing, we ended up getting rejected for every single opportunity. It wasn't because we didn't have enough money, it was because we didn't have an established credit score. Later, we discovered over 32 million people face the same problem, and from there, we pledged to eliminate credit rejection.
Kuru, which stands for Credit Guru, is an app that automates credit building, helping people either build or rebuild their credit scores. The way it works is you link your already existing accounts to your profile, and the app goes to work utilizing machine learning to find opportunities to improve your credit score based on your spending, your income, and your financial goals. An example of how this works is our payment intelligence system, which exists only with Kuru. Normally, when you're paying off your credit balances, you'll see the full amount, a minimum amount, or an arbitrary amount that you set for yourself. What Kuru does differently is it analyzes your available balances and existing cash to find the exact amounts that you should be paying off on each of your credit accounts that will have the best impact on your credit score. And all of our features mimic this exact same experience so you can see your credit score improve at the touch of a button. Since our launch in May, we've been able to help thousands either build or rebuild their credit scores and reach their financial goals, seeing an average point increase of 40 points in 4 months. Along with that, we hit a huge milestone, hitting 85% weekly active users utilizing cohort retention. And since then, reviews have flooded in, and we've seen a near perfect rating on the App Store.
The way we make money is when a user signs up for a financial product through our app, such as a loan or a credit card, we earn on average $100. Once we've reached product market fit, we knew we needed to take this solution to scale, and we've locked in partnerships with lenders such as Bankrate, CA Housing, as well as IvyLender and LoanConnect. When these lenders have rejected clients, they are referred to Curu. Our service improves their credit score and then sends them back to get approved once eligible, creating new value for us as well as our partners. Currently, with our partnerships, we have access to up to volume of 20,000 new users per month, and an opportunity of over $10 million in 2019. If we tap into just 10% of our serviceable addressable market, it is an opportunity of over $300 million. And that is why we are raising a funding round. It is of $650,000 in size, and majority of the round is closed. This will be going towards seizing this market opportunity. Currently, we're still open and accepting strategic capital. If you guys are interested in investing in Kuru, or would like to also eliminate credit rejection, please reach out to Ab or myself. We are in the Steve Jobs turtleneck, so it'll be a little hard to miss us. Let's go ahead and make a ding in the universe, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, one more time for Kuru. Yeah, I like that. First pitch. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, credit history is now fixed. There's an influx of information that's in there. More information means actually a reduction of risk. There's less uncertainty. Less risk means better rates. Better rates for lenders. Long gone in 2028 are predatory loans or payday loans. It's all about finding you the right tailored loan or even micro loan for when you need one. And our next guest is here to say, and how do you find a loan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adam from LoanConnect.
Till now, you always got by on your own. You never really cared about your credit. But now by using your phone, we're gonna get you a loan. We're gonna get you a loan and connect.
Hi, guys. My name's Adam Rice. I'm CEO of LoanConnect. LoanConnect is Canada's leading platform for unsecured loans. Just showing you here a graph of kind of the growth of the unsecured loan market here in North America over the last number of years. So the interesting point I wanted to point out to you is towards the end of this graph, we see a very rapid doubling in the last 10 years, and we're expecting it to double at least another time in the next 5. Lending ecosystem in and of itself is confusing. There's more and more lenders coming out, and it's becoming more challenging to pick a lender that can get you the best rates. So essentially, LoanConnect is kind of Canada's leading marketplace to connect borrowers with lenders, helping the borrower find a loan that makes sense to them, but also helping a lender find a lead that they can convert in a way that is actually cost affordable for them. So our vision is to provide on-the-spot financing through a choice of lenders whenever, wherever, for all customers, for all needs. Essentially, we've had a bit of an issue with this slide, but really LoanConnect exists for the full spectrum of consumers, anywhere from deep subprime to super prime. Regardless of where you fall on this scale, we've got a lender for you and competitive rates to offer you. Through the LoanConnect portal is a typical way you would kind of come through LoanConnect. You'd fill out one application, we'd show you multiple offers in real time, but we also have 50-plus referral partnerships that refer us a lot of our volume. Beyond that, we white label our solution for a number of leading platforms here in Canada, one being Rate Supermarket, another being Lowest Rates, and our most recent partner is AutoTrader. So we just launched this in Quebec, and we'll be launching Canada-wide in January. And essentially, you can go to AutoTrader and use our system to access a loan to purchase a used vehicle. We're really excited about this. Today, we process over 400 loan applications daily. And we've had a 12.6 compound rate of revenue growth from the beginning of the year till now. So that's actually translated to about $95,000 in monthly recurring revenue. The next chapter for LoanConnect. Essentially, we're moving our solution to point of sale. So very soon, you're going to be able to go to online websites and access our system to find a loan to purchase anything you want online. But the beauty is multiple lenders are competing for your business. So you'll be able to cater that loan to help you purchase your product on online websites, but also in retail. So I'll kind of get into that in a second. Here we go. A brighter future. So the extension of LoanConnect from being that online platform where you can search for loans to a place where you can access finance in real time to purchase any item you want. So what we're going to do, I mean, imagine kind of taking out your phone. You're in a Best Buy, you're looking at a 70-inch TV, okay? You're gonna take out your phone, you'll enter a few details about yourself, you'll query lenders across Canada in real time for offers. And you'll scroll through and you say, I like this offer at prime plus 2.5, like a rate you would never see at point of sale. And you'll say, well, that makes sense to me. You know, I can pay for that over 24 months. So you'll select that loan, and by the time you reach the register, you'll actually be funded with that loan, and you'll be able to use that loan to finance your purchase. Essentially transforming consumer finance from something that's offered to you in store at typically very high interest rates to something that makes sense to the prime consumer. So currently, I mean, we've had a lot of growth over the last little bit. We're looking for some Series A financing of about $5 million come the end of spring. We're also out kind of in the market speaking to lenders who may be interested in kind of joining our innovative platform. It's not so much about commoditizing the platform, it's about joining with financial institutions in more of a deeper partnership where they can essentially offer their loans on our platform and really grow their market share. Anyways, anybody wants to talk to me after the presentation, I'll be around here. Otherwise, you can kind of connect with me through email or phone. Thanks so much.
One more time. Let's hear it for LoanConnect. Yeah. All right, let's keep this going. So we've covered commercial lending. What about the merchant space and lending around that, right? Well, there was a mission-driven payments company who realized her data was gold. And with her network, and an international network at that, she can match it with lenders. And it can provide merchants with their first loan on a route to financial freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is rising up to the opportunity and has the focus of the eye of the tiger. Let's welcome Christina from IvyLender. You got this.
IvyLender, helping you fight right at the moment when you're buying. Christina's there to help you. She knows what's right. Look at her, she's got the eye. IvyLender.
Thank you, Daniel.
Whenever you're ready.
IvyLender.
Thank you.
Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. They employ roughly 70.6% of the Canadian population and 46% of the United States. However, 80% of small businesses that will go to apply for a loan from their bank will get declined. They'll then go into the alternative space where 56% will also get declined. As a result, 29% of small businesses will actually fail because they're unable to secure working capital. There's 30 million small businesses in North America that request $34 billion year after year, and that market size increases 23%. We developed a platform to address this issue. Not only does our platform help businesses access capital, but it also helps streamline the broker experience when interacting with those small businesses. We have proprietary software that's built on a cloud-based CRM. We use artificial intelligence to assist with our consumer application. We profile our clients using products such as Experian and Plaid, and we have over 100 lenders in North America integrated into our system. The difference between us and the other platforms is that we don't just offer one solution. We address all business needs at any credit stage. We offer merchant cash advance options, lines of credit, invoice factoring, equipment factoring, and commercial real estate options to our small businesses. We work with brokers across North America. We're currently onboarding 2 relationships that have 5,300 merchants to launch our product in December of this year. We are going to offer them all of the products that I mentioned earlier, and we're going to streamline the user experience by collecting the data and aggregating it over time to make our process even better. Our direct sales acquisition is to simply work with our clients. They will launch our application either through the website or through our mobile application, which will launch in Q1. We'll profile the clients, connect them with our lenders, and they'll receive funds within 24 to 72 hours. We've addressed the 56% of declines that are out there, unlike our peers. By partnering with Kuru, we're going to show the loan that they applied for and give them options of how they can get back into our underwriting. We're going to help them obtain their first small business loan and then also help graduate them into cheaper cost of capital by creating an ecosystem with our partners. This will ultimately result in small businesses getting back to bank financing. We make money in 3 ways. We open our product to the broker channel. We charge $199 per user, which is very cost effective. Brokers typically that get into the fintech space have to spend an average of $75,000 to $100,000 to set up their call center, to get a CRM, to get all the systems. Everything is built into our one platform at an affordable rate. We also make money on origination fees. For the commercial real estate, we make 1% to 2% on the origination, and then for the small business, anywhere from 9% to 15%. Because we are a credit card processor, we make an average of 35 basis points on our portfolio. We've done $190,000 to date, but we have $160,000 in December just alone. And this is pre-launching with our new partners. So we have high expectations for substantial growth over 2019. We're currently raising a $500,000 angel round with a target open date of January 1st. We anticipate doing an average of $4 million in 2019. If you're interested in learning more or investing, we're happy to talk after this program. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for the backbone of the Canadian economy, right? Being able to generate, help them out. We can do a little better, people. Come on, let's hear it. Yeah, I like that. All right, we're back on track. Yeah, so we covered consumers, SMEs. What about big institutional? I'm talking Fortune 500 companies. In the future, you have Samsung lending short-term liquidity to Apple. You have Netflix borrowing long-term liquidity from Apple. Basically, everyone's borrowing from Apple. Apple has a lot of money, probably because it still hasn't invested in a headphone jack. No, but seriously though, the next guy up is has literally traveled the world in the 7 seas to tell you about his sweet dream and how he's going to make this reality. Let's welcome to the stage Tom from Liquidity Marketplace.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Credit flow is from B to B. A marketplace for liquidity. Everybody's looking for something, 'cause some banks want to abuse you.
Thank you.
Not really. I'm Tom from Liquidity, and prior to from LMX, and prior to setting up LMX, I spent 30 years in banking, and I really believe I didn't abuse anybody. Or at least that's what I'll attest to now. So look, we've set out to transform liquidity markets for Fortune 1000 companies and banks around the world. And as we all know, short-term liquidity is the lifeblood for any company. And it's under threat right now. When you look at lending spreads for institutional borrowers since the financial crisis, they've nearly doubled. The last bank I worked, HSBC, I was tasked with a $100 billion reduction in institutional deposits, an equivalent amount of revolving credit facilities. So what do? We started charging clients for deposits, and at the same time, cut credit facilities and pushed up spreads. That made for some really tough conversations with long-standing clients. This is the way the liquidity world has worked. All paths lead either through or to a bank, and potentially in some circumstances to a fund manager. So if you're a corporate treasurer and you need cash, you gotta pick up the phone and call a bank. If you've got excess cash and you wanna deploy it, guess what? You gotta fax, that's right, fax a fund manager. With LMX, it's totally different. For the first time now, corporates can borrow directly from each other with no intermediation. And if they want to engage with multiple banks, they can do so on a completely digitized platform. Our marketplace is underpinned by a proprietary loan agreement, such that for when our clients do trade, the only thing that changes from trade to trade is the discount rate, the duration, and the notional amount. There is no negotiation of legal terms amongst the members of our platform. Let me tell you about a couple of our clients. Intuit funds their working capital from a revolving credit facility. By shifting a portion of their liquidity to our platform, they can save up to $6 million a year. Pfizer is a different story entirely. They are flush with cash. But unfortunately for them, they are over their counterparty limits for their banks. And so by deploying cash on our platform, their treasurer can generate an incremental $8 million on their cash portfolio. Our revenue model is simple. We charge a brokerage fee to the issuer, the borrower, on all trades. As you can see here, the issuing costs for corporate are higher than banks, and that reflects the exclusivity of our solution and the great value it creates for them. The first few trades on the market are actually going to be from bank issuers, and that's because there's much less of a dependency on having a giant client base. However, as we reach critical mass and have 25 to 30 corporates on the platform, we expect direct corporate trading to accelerate greatly. This is a $3 trillion market outstanding at any given time in the US alone and over $7 trillion globally. This market really needs to change. We're raising $1 million at a $6 million valuation. Our platform is completely operational and compliant, and we just ran simulated trading with 8 companies. We're making good progress with clients. We've got 6 for the marketplace. We've got 1 signed SaaS client and 2 more in the final stages of evaluation. Our team is not just old, but it also has unique experience in liquidity markets, as well as the experience and track record in executing in them. Join us as we revolutionize liquidity for Fortune 1000 companies and banks around the world. Thank you.
He promised he wouldn't abuse you.
All right, let's give it up for the old guys taking on $1 trillion market. Yeah, love those old guys. All right, Web 1.0 brought us the decentralized world, right? And then we moved into which everyone can share and communicate with each other freely. Web 2.0 is where we are today. It's centralized again. Airbnb, Uber, Facebook, centralized platforms that we're using. Web 3.0 is 2028. It's back to decentralized again. The unmet needs are matched with solutions, and anyone can chain and exchange freely, and it's all done on the blockchain. And these transactions are made possible because they're all stored on the blockchain, and they're protected by our next champions of protection. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for Salomon from Beriblock.
We are the champions, my friend. Storing loans on the blockchain till the end. We are the champions. We're VeriBlock. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the blockchain.
Thank you, Daniel. How are you? My name is Salomon. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm the CEO of VeriBlock, the protectors and champions of your documents and contracts. Now, what do? Imagine that you have a very important document. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say that every one of you has signed a contract in your lifetime, any kind of contract, right? So let's say that you want to make that contract executed. You want to get your money back, right? Someone owes you money. And you go and find this person, and he says he doesn't know you. He says he's never seen you before. He didn't sign what you tell him he signed. How do you get your money back? Well, you can do many things to make sure that he can't not recognize the contract, that he keeps the contract safe somewhere. You can put it in a safe, you can put it under your mattress, you can put it under the floor, right? And you end up and show him the contract, and there you have it. You can even have a very advanced computer system that saves the contract, and in the eventual case that someone tries to cheat you out of your money, then you show him the contract. But even the most advanced computer system is vulnerable to hacking. Right? Not even advanced hacking. If someone leaves a post-it note on their computer with their password, your documents and your contracts are not safe, and they will be lost and stolen. So, with VeriBlock, you can protect your documents using blockchain technology. What do? We use blockchain technology to make sure that you create a representation of your document on blockchain. And with that, we can keep track of all the changes that a document has suffered over time. If this person says that he never signed the contract, or he arrives with a contract that has anything changed, let's say the amount owed, then you can tell him, hey, I know what the real contract is, and here's the real version. You can keep track of the ownership of the document. So now let's say that you have a secondary market, invoices. Someone's heard of factoring corporations, right? Debt notes. When you sell your debt notes to a secondary investor, when you're doing that, your investor wants to know who has owned the document before. And if you sell the document to a third, fourth, seventh, 20th party, that 20th party wants to know where he has to go to get his money back. With VeriBlock, you can make sure that you know where to go and keep full traceability of ownership. All of this with 50% of the cost of current solutions, thanks to blockchain technology, all API connected with zero administrative work. It's as easy as saying, I want to do it, and in 2 weeks, we can go to market. We already have traction. We just launched the company about 4 months ago. We have traction in Colombia with a very large bank, BBVA, one of the largest banks in the world, second largest bank in Colombia, and with a medium-sized lender, $200 million in origination of documents in Colombia. Both of these clients are very large, and they show that the market feels this is an interesting product. This not only works for promissory notes. Our current clients use promissory notes. This works for any document that has value. If one of the documents in your enterprises or companies has value, you can use this for that. So you can use this for non-listed stocks, you can use it for property rights, you can use it for any document that has value. We have a team of 3 entrepreneurs. They have experience in psychology. We have a lawyer, Juan Fernando is somewhere over here. Me, I'm a marketer. And we have a very good board of advisors headed by Julio Molano, a serial entrepreneur in Colombia, and by Rocker Labs. I have Eve Rocker is over here. Thank you very much. Who have backed us in the technology part of the business. We have also been recognized in several contests, awards all over the world. We are the only Latin American startup here in this cohort. We are advised and backed by Rocker Labs, as I told you before, and we've won several awards. We won the Accenture Innovation Award in Colombia, and we won the Open Talent Award in Madrid from BBVA. We are the only Latin American startup that is using blockchain for this kind of use case. If you feel this is important, I advise you to come and talk with me after the talk. Just a little bit of data. Half of the world's GDP is traded every year through contracts. If you feel that's a big market, this is probably a good idea.
No time for losers. We are the champions of that blockchain, yeah.
All right. So now, yeah, one more time for that half of GDP. Yeah. It's a pretty big market. We got some good markets in FinTech. All right, so this is a very special part of the show. In fact, as we finished up on the landing, we shift over to a very special tribute. I want to do this right, so I'm actually going to welcome Filomena Renzio. Oh, she's ready to go. And, I just want to say, beyond the fact that you guys are gold sponsors, right, which is huge, the most important thing is I have a job. No, but beyond that, seriously, it's been super humbling to be able to work with you guys, giving back to the community, finding international entrepreneurs from all over the world, and helping build up Montreal from where it all started for you guys in Quebec. So thank you very much to you guys. Do you have something you would like to add?
Actually, I think I do. Hit it, Dan. All right, I'd like to call out Brendan Dunn, Peter Dunn, and Stuart Dunn up on stage. And our motto is welcome to the family. We are family. We want you to sing with us. Welcome to the family. We are family. Welcome to the family. Everybody now, last time. We are family. We are family. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Thank you.
How's the sound? Good? Good? Bonsoir tout le monde. C'est un vrai plaisir d'être parmi vous à cette occasion. For those who are concerned that this is going to continue in French only, be reassured. It is an honor for our family to be associated with the Holt Accelerator and to witness the first tangible sign this evening of how an idea became a reality. One could say that finance and its various iterations has been in our DNA since the time of Sir Herbert Holt. From a modest beginning in rural Ireland, he crossed the Atlantic with an engineering degree and a few pounds in his back pocket and ended up running what became the largest bank in Canada for a quarter of a century. Sir Herbert also took part in the vast and ambitious endeavor of building the Canadian Pacific Railway from coast to coast. We wish the Accelerator all the best in replicating our ancestors' accomplishments by connecting the various digital financial hubs in this country from east to west. Finally, and not least, we applaud the tremendous accomplishments of Jan and his team. For without them and our advisors, this initiative would never have seen the light of day.
Just before you guys go, I actually want to do one more thing. It's we have the time to do, you've probably heard the Pool 3 Points, they've been going around and getting money for you guys. It's a phenomenal cause. It's about giving back to the community in this case, right? What it is about is actually about helping underprivileged kids, right? And get them involved in sport, and this sport is basketball. I'm a big believer of getting involved with sport, teaches kid focus, a sense of community, a sense of teamwork. Unfortunately, this year, the basketball tournament they put on fell through. There wasn't enough turnout. So we said, this is silly. We got to bring more awareness to this. This can't happen next year. And so we brought them in, and hopefully we've been seeing some good turnouts and some donations. And we have all of them here for the great chance to be able to win 2 pairs of tickets to go see Cirque du Soleil later. I don't know exactly when. Who would like to do the honors of drawing the first one? We're going to mix it up too. Draw one. Okay, and you can give away the first number. Be ready with your tickets. Hold on, is everyone ready with their tickets?
5190596.
All right, so 519-90-596. Probably the last 3 digits. Don't come yet. I'm going to bring it right here. That's going to safeguard it.
519-0583.
Probably 0583. That sounds pretty rigged. Who? Are you serious? Okay, they're over there. Okay, come find it after, basically. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for the Holden family. So well done. All right, let's keep it going. So we moved on from lending. We're now in the banking world. Okay, and how has banking changed? You have all your assets, you have a portfolio of them, and you have it centralized in one location. And you're able to adjust it and adjust for you actually in real time. For instance, when I was up choking on the stage initially, it's actually double downing on brownie stocks, because I'm going to be eating a lot of those later. No, but seriously though, like this next team is all about making your sweet dreams come true. Please welcome Sajal from CapitalWise.
What you got, do you know? It might be hard to handle, but no one holds a candle to everything you can do. Give it up for CapitalWise. They're making your dreams come true. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Sajal Korod. I'm the founder and CEO of CapitalWise, a fintech enabler for banks and financial institutions to scale personalized engagement. Through our partnership with Barclays in South Africa, we were able to provide a 6-fold increase in cross-sell conversion from their deposit-only clients into wealth management clients. Our platform looked deep into consumers' transactional patterns and financial behavior to understand the consumer's financial needs, their financial habits, and also recommending goals and measuring their financial wellness. And why is that so important? Because consumers are not walking to the bank's branches anymore, because they feel talking about finance as intimidating and inconvenient. So these consumers are turning to third-party fintech apps to build their financial future. And banks have responded to this by more commoditizing their product by offering rate plays and blasting everyone with the same offer. So let's imagine a bank that begins to engage these consumers in a financial wellness level by understanding what is their next goal, by recommending them whenever they have extra cash to nudge towards that goal, and also recommending the right financial product for them to achieve their financial goals. These consumers would start spending more time on the bank's mobile app, and they would feel that the checking account is not just a commodity. And as we saw from the Barclays example, a personalized engagement always brings higher profit with lower cost and a better or higher customer lifetime value for the banks. And when consumer feels that banks are not just the place to store money, but a true partner in building their financial wellness, they would start spending, they will feel that the bank is a true partner for them, and the bank would get a great name and a great brand to compete with the third-party fintech solution out there. So CapitalWise offers both consumer-facing and internal-facing features. On the consumer-facing features, we have smart goal setting that would identify what should be the next financial goal for the user, nudges that would identify how much extra cash the user has and nudge the consumers to achieve those goals, and a tool to measure the financial wellness of the user. On the internal-facing tools, we have a dashboard for the relationship manager to see what is going on with their consumer's financial life. So whenever there is a live or a financial event, the relationship manager can take right actions based on that. So after our initial pilot with Barclays, now we are working with 2 banks in Asia and also talking to dozens of banks and credit unions across the globe on how they can use the power of AI and power of CapitalWise into relationship banking. We are a team of 9. We are based out of New York, and our executive team has a deep understanding of gap between the traditional financial system and the today's consumers' financial needs. At this point, we are raising our seed round led by one of the top VC firms in the US, and we are looking for both intellectual and financial partnership. So if you would like to have a conversation, please come and find me. Thank you.
CapitalWise is making your dreams come true.
All right, let's give it up. You know what? For us, the consumer, and better financial wellness, right? Yeah, come on, let's get some applause there. Wait, you guys want better financial wellness? All right, let's keep this. Now we shift from banking right into payments. Okay, so the future of payments has changed. We don't use credit cards, NFC chips, or signatures. Open banking has completely changed and revolutionized what is going to happen in the world. What started in Europe as a regulation that says consumers, you own the rights to your data, and you can choose who access it, allowed other payment platforms to sit on top of this. And when doing this, this reverberated all across the world, and everyone was racing to catch up. And so this revolution is happening starting 2019. It's the final countdown before this revolution starts. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Charles from SmartPay.
Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the party as we do. I want to thank the whole family for giving us the opportunity to be here. My name is Charles, I'm the co-founder and CEO at SmartPay, and we are disrupting the debit and credit card payment scheme. So open banking regulation, it's a game changer. Today you got over 50 banks worldwide, 41 in Europe that already deploy the open API. And by September 2019, you're gonna got 4,500 banks in Europe that will legally have to deploy the API, allowing us to disrupt the debit and credit card scheme, Visa, MasterCard, Interact, and everything behind it, POS and PSPs. So we all have too many of those in our pockets. It's a strong authentication solution that verifies the card ownership, something you own, something you know, in a secure device. It was revolution for in-store checkout during the past 25 years. But what about e-commerce? You got 90% of all online transactions that are made with a payment card, debit or credit. But it's not working online as well as in-store checkouts. It wasn't created for e-commerce. The first problem, you got a 69% dropout during the online checkout. And you get over 65% of the credit card fraud, which is due to e-commerce. So thanks to open banking, SmartPay connects customers' banks directly to retailers' banks and let retailers' apps transform a regular smartphone into your own personal point-of-sale terminal that you carry with you every time. Moving from this, with a lot of third parties, they're taking an average of 2.4% on swipe fees, to this, with SmartPay Deep Tech military-grade solutions. We charge 9 cents down to 3 cents on every transaction, and we are disrupting the card payment rails. Smartphones are the new point-of-sale terminals. It's a strong authentication solution that verifies not the card's ownership, but the smartphone ownership, something you own, something you are in a secure device, making the cards obsolete. Our solution works online and offline directly at the cashier in every kind of scenario imaginable. So checking out with us is extremely simple. The customers validate with the biometric fingerprints, his credential, and the payment information that he transferred directly from his bank to the retailers without the need of a credit or a debit card. The benefits for the retailer, the banks, and the consumer that we have validated through POC, proof of concept with a bank in France, it increased the checkout success rate by over 90%. It reduced the swipe fees up to 10 times. There's no customer registration at all. You don't have to fill in any information, and it kills the fraud. So the European market that we are addressing first is the 41.8 trillion market. Our customers are the major retailers. We don't have to talk to the banks at all, and we take a small fee on each transaction. We are a bunch of dinosaurs from the web. We started in the 90s, actually, and I've been literally advising the European Commission to do and build the PSD2 open banking regulation. We made more than 300 e-commerce websites for major retailers, and my partner is a cyber geek that created one of the world leaders in two-factor authentication in front of Symantec and McAfee. So we're looking for 1 million to launch. We got 3 years of R&D. We had a paid POC with the second largest bank in France. And we're going to be using the funds to sandbox experimentation with major retailers until the regulation goes live by September 2019. Thank you all. I'll be there if you want to talk to me.
You're gonna pay with SmartPay!
All right. Yeah, let's give it up to not the old people, but the dinosaurs. Yeah. Love those dinosaurs. Okay. So yeah, I just want to take this time to brag and say I just bought my first hovercraft. Unfortunately, it was a Kia. But I was able to make that because I had wicked investments. And I'm not just talking about all the startups that I invested in. I'm also talking about using and leveraging their technology to make those investments. And so one of the first things before you start the investment process is actually the most annoying, critical part, the KYC, the know your customer. And there's such a bottleneck. It should be just a snap of the finger to make it happen. Now it is, and it's very possible to do it, leveraging the blockchain. Please welcome the new kids to the blockchain, Bryce from Commercial Passport.
KYC is in the fast lane, storing info on the blockchain. Commercial Passport's gonna rule the world.
Who here has a passport? Say I. Aye. We use a passport to travel or to say who we are. Why don't financial institutions have the same thing? What we believe is that every financial institution and their funds should be issued a digital identity that represents all of their KYC needs. We describe KYC on two parts, senders and receivers. Senders would be investors, they would be LPs and family offices. Receivers would be banks, funds of funds, and fund administrators. Today, this is a $118 billion problem a year. It's an absolute mess. Investors have to take all of their paperwork, they have to courier them across the country, get them certified by attorneys, and then resend everything back to get everything certified through their funds. It's a disaster. It takes up to 68 days for this process to happen, and they have to redo this every single time they want to work with a new fund. Here's what we believe. Everything should be in one place. You centralize all of your documents. There's a smart engine and workflow that describes exactly what you have to do based on the regulation that you're in. You can permission share with any financial institution, and it's safe and secured through the blockchain technology. Currently, our team is 2 people with a team of 5 who are our engineers and other compliance folks. We're uniquely positioned to solve this problem because we have 30 plus years in this industry. My co-founder, Glenn, was previously a lawyer at Aird & Burles, and he was also a KYC forensic expert. And my background was previously taking an HR tech company through the exact same process with Y Combinator. We have advisors from all over. These folks understand what the size of the market and the opportunity is. For us, we generally see that this is an $118 billion market, but we're just focused on the $3 billion for the fund admin space first. And the reason why is because there's 200 fund administrators. These 200 fund administrators essentially administer 80,000 funds. Each one of these funds for us represents a $30,000 value contract. That means that essentially when we partner with these funds, our revenue model is to distribute our technology through the funds. We see this as a bigger opportunity, though, beyond the fund administration market. We ultimately want to partner with global financial institutions and banks to be the central ecosystem for KYC and commercial passports. We're uniquely going to win this for 2 to 3 reasons. One, our team is building proprietary technology that's going to have a network effect. Every time a passport gets shared with another institution, it compels them to create one themselves. To date, we've completed version 1 and we've launched our product. We have a partnership with the 5th largest fund administrator in North America. We've signed an NDA with one of the 3rd largest banks in Canada to figure out our scope of work for the next year. We're going to be working directly with Holden in January, and we have 2 small pilots that just closed for December. What we're looking for now is a lead investor who's going to be strategic for us. We want someone who has ties to the financial industry and to the offshore markets. The $3 million round has currently $500K committed. What we want to do is for the first thing to ask for people when they open a fund is, do you have a commercial passport? Thank you. Merci.
Commercial passports gonna rule the world.
Let's give it up for commercial passports. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so now we have the means to be able to make the investments. Well, where do we invest in? Right away, let's start with it. Is it humans? Is it bots? It is humans. It's creative humans, and they're managing robots. Millions of bots, armies of robots, and they're competing on a stage, and that world biggest stage, competing for the right to invest your money. And that platform that they're using right now, and it's a shout out if you're an investor, he's asking you to hit him with your best shot. His name is Emmanuel, and he's from FundSeeder.
Hit me with your best shot. Why won't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. FundSeeder all the way.
Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel Bellari, and I'm here just because I wanted my own jingle.
Yeah, all the way.
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, as you leave.
Okay, appreciate it. Hi guys, Emmanuel Bellari, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of FundSeeder. FundSeeder is crowdsourcing the world's best traders to provide better products for investors. So when you consider if you're a trader or a new money manager today, you face tremendous barriers of entry when it comes to competing against the status quo. If you don't have the infrastructure costs or even access to capital, you have absolutely no shot of being discovered, let alone managing your own money. So if you look at even in the US alone, where there are over 40 million online trading accounts, and compare it to the fact that in the hedge fund industry, you have $3.6 trillion in assets that are controlled by just less than 700 hedge funds. In fact, about 1/3 of those assets are controlled by just over 100 hedge fund managers. So at FundSeeder, we don't believe that some of the biggest hedge fund managers actually have a monopoly on the best trade idea. In fact, we believe that some of the world's best traders are out there and they're undiscovered, but they just don't have the proper infrastructure or access to capital to compete. So we started FundSeeder based on that core belief and developed a technology platform that would allow us to efficiently source talent from all over the globe. So if you're a trader, an aspiring money manager, you sign up to FundSeeder. We pull in your data directly from your brokerage firm. You're able to see how you compete against your peer network or other people that are part of your strategy. And then we also provide you with superior portfolio analytics that your current brokerage firm doesn't have and offer. And then obviously, if you're really good and if you're one of the best in the world, then you can leverage our infrastructure as we connect you to investors. So we've had about 11,000 traders that have signed up organically from over 120 countries. 3 years ago, we even launched an index that tracked the top 5% of our traders based on our proprietary FundSeeder score, and that index itself has outperformed competitor hedge fund indices by at least a factor of 2. But we know that it is absolutely difficult to disrupt the status quo. So we have assembled a rock star team with proven name recognition and a pedigree of success. Jack Schwager is one of our co-founders and chief research officers. He's also the author of the Market Wizards series of books that have sold over 2 million copies globally. In addition to Jack, we have a team that has not only proven innovation, but the opportunity to execute in their past careers. Our COO was previously the COO for a $4.5 billion fund of funds. One of our advisors, the former head of global trading for Franklin Templeton. And myself, I've raised over several $100 million for some of these undiscovered emerging managers in my career. Our investors include the largest financial services technology company in the world, FIS, as well as the largest emerging manager hedge fund platform in China. It's a global play for us, and so we strategically have partnered with investors in that region. We've raised to date close to $3 million, have a fully built technology platform, and have already connected ourselves to dozens of brokerage firms globally. So our pathway of monetization in the next 6 months includes continually sourcing the talent that comes from all over the globe. And then we are looking to launch our first product, which in effect is similar to what ETFs did for equities. FundSeeder is looking to do for hedge fund strategies. And afterwards, we can have a variety of different products that provide investors with a much more better product at a better price point. So we are FundSeeder. We're bringing technology innovation to the hedge fund industry. And we'd like you to join us if you want to partner with us strategically. Thank you.
Hit me with your best shot, FundSeeder all the way.
All right, let's keep this investment going right away. So KYC covered, equities covered. What's next? The future performance is not measured in sovereign currency or fiat currency. No, it's measured in cryptocurrency or digital assets. For the bankers in the room, I don't know if the bankers prefer like Bitcoin right now, right? So how is it, which one do you invest in? I have the answer. Our ethics committee from the future said I can't share it with you. But fortunately, that next team has a data-driven approach for how you to identify which coins to invest in, busting down those garbage coin ghosts. Please welcome Austin from Concilium Crypto.
When there's garbage coins clogging up your world, who you gonna call? Concilium Crypto! You'll get it again. In the dark, when the market's rocky, come on, who you gonna call? Concilium Crypto!
As it stands today, there are a lot of problems with cryptocurrencies. There are hundreds of exchanges, thousands of tradable assets, each with their own characteristics and use cases. The markets are also very fragmented, both in terms of information and liquidity, and the tools available to analyze this new asset class are just not good enough. This leaves most investors in the dark. However, those with more data and better tools to analyze that data have a significant advantage in the markets. Concilium, Latin for sound advice, is bringing the benefits of big data and machine learning to institutional investors. Over a year ago, my co-founders and I left our comfortable jobs in finance and tech to launch this new venture. We were all early adopters in crypto, but we quickly realized that there were a lot of problems, and that these problems could be solved using something that we were all passionate about: data. From a high-level perspective, Concilium captures siloed data sets from around the globe and brings them into one system where they can be easily converted into valuable insights for investors, saving them time, salaries, and basis points. Our market data pipelines connect to dozens of exchanges around the globe and capture over 90% of all the trade volume in cryptocurrencies. This gives us a complete, transparent view of price and liquidity for almost every crypto asset on Earth. And we're just getting started. Our system also brings in news and text from across the web, allowing us to gauge investor sentiment and market impact of major news events. And all of this is being done in real time right now. Since I've started speaking, our system has captured and analyzed over 50,000 new trades, thousands of articles, posts, and tweets, and hundreds of new blockchain wallets and transactions. We've partnered with some of the top researchers, consulting firms, and technology companies in the space, allowing us to scale our tech faster and reach a global client base. We've closed a paid pilot project with one of the top exchanges and are currently in the process of onboarding our first large client. Now it's time to open things up to institutions. If you're looking for a data-driven edge in these rapidly evolving markets, we have 2 spots left in our pilot projects. So whether you're an asset manager, a regulator, or an exchange, these are insights you can't afford to ignore. We've received our pre-seed funding through the Creative Destruction Lab in Toronto and the Holt Accelerator here in Montreal. And in January, we'll be opening up our seed round for $600,000 to expand the commercialization of our data and analytics. So when markets get rocky and you're feeling left in the dark, who are you going to call?
Concilium Crypto!
Thank you.
All right, that one was for all the cypherpunks in the room. Let me hear you make some noise. Go that way. Yeah, I got the cypherpunks in the back. All right, thanks so much. So what we covered right now, equities, moving on to cryptos. What's next? What about completely blue oceans? New asset classes. I'm talking markets that are now multi-trillions of dollars that you probably didn't know existed right now. Here next up is going to ask you, are you going to go his way, is Justin from CreditScript.
Thank you, Daniel. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Farr-Jones, CEO and founder of CreditScript. CreditScript is a regulated digital investment firm. We're focused on providing investors with access to the fastest growing debt markets in the world. A $50 billion marketplace that many people didn't know exist. These are the best FinTechs globally in consumer loans, business loans, and real estate lending. They have one mission: to improve the customer journey. But on the other side, investors fund those loans, not banks. Investors like you in the room and professional investors, peer-to-peer marketplaces, as well as financial institutions. CreditScript has created the world's first account to invest in those loans. But what are the problems? If you're an investor, how do you access 340 platforms globally? There are no standards. There is no fix. There is no standard like a stock exchange. The second thing is, with all that data, asset managers have never been here before. You have to do due diligence on data, and you have to do it at scale. The third point is diversification. You've got those loans to invest in, but you need to buy small pieces of those loans to make sure you're diversified. The last one is servicing and custody. Who's going to keep your money safe and segregated? We've spent the last 18 months at CreditScript building the world's first trading platform to do exactly that. We provide you market access in one place, one due diligence, not 20, one KYC process, not 20. We've got a due diligence engine that gives you the data, that compares the returns between different platforms. One platform will calculate an APR, another platform will calculate an IRR. Someone needs to normalize and clean that data, and that's what we've got inside the system. The third solution is our robo-advisor, to give you the diversification in those loans. And finally, the integrated and safe custody. We're connected to some of the best online lending platforms, providing the consumer loans, the business loans, and the real estate loans to give you superior returns in a portfolio that's never been accessible before in history. So where are we after 18 months of preparation? We've had some great client wins. We've got a top 3 US private equity firm already investing through us. That's $100 million of orders. We've got another $100 million of pipeline with 3 institutional mandates. And on average, we're earning 0.65% or 65 basis points on assets under management. Our team have a mixture of old and experience and the younger tech side. We've got guys from IHS Market on the data side. Aisha comes from Deloitte as an auditor, and Mike, our CTO and co-founder, has previously built the first block trading platforms in the world. I previously exited my last credit manager to Blackstone in New York with $13 billion of assets under management. We're fundraising, as we all are, the first quarter, £3 million raise as a Series A. We've already closed a seed round a year ago for 1.25 million. And the uses of our funds are to develop the trading platform, to develop our bank interfaces, because increasingly banks are looking at using marketplace models to syndicate their loans. And finally, and most excited for a Londoner like me, to open our first Canadian office. And we've been in discussions with the AMF in Montreal to hopefully be licensed in Canada. So if you're interested, please come and see me after the show. I believe there's an after party. We're looking forward to that. And my address and details are there. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give it up for the after party at 9:30. Yeah, where it's going to be drinks, going to be fun, bordel. I hope to see everybody there. All right, so before we move on, that concludes the investment portion. We're down to the final couple companies, but before we do, I do want to give a special shout out. Actually, big reason we were able to kick off and get started from this whole journey and reach 400 applications was a huge support of Strategy AI. You guys have been phenomenal working with us the whole time, not just getting us started, but supporting all our teams and helping them get to their next milestone, get to build their technological moat that has allowed them to raise their rounds and this defensible strategy. Thank you so much, Strategy AI. You guys have been fantastic. Let's give a round of applause for Strategy AI. Yeah. Local Montreal company here. That's huge. Rocket ship. Love being able to work with them. And also, I'd just like to shout out to Rocker. You guys have been phenomenal as well. We had a really grueling application process, and every time the applications were met with the partner level, including myself, and Rocker was no exception through the whole application process, being there to scout and make sure we chose the best teams, and gave us that international presence. I was looking all around. You guys are right there, right in the front. Ladies and gentlemen, it's also here for Rocker. You know, I just want to say both of you guys have been solid as a rock.
Thank you, Rocker. Thank you, Strategy AI. Thank you, gold sponsor.
Awesome. All right, and thank you, Daniel, because you are doing a phenomenal job. Let's keep this going. So now we're in the technology portion of the show. And what do we saw here? It's a phenomenal time to be in Montreal. AI is buzzing, and it's a fantastic world in 2018. 2028 is actually all about quantum computing and encryption. Yeah, and so what AI was in 2008 is actually what those technologies are in 2018 right now. And the rocket ship and the rocket man who's going to carry us into this technological future is Marco from QuantumSense.
And it isn't gonna be a long, long time until we're listening to AI and trusting the wisdom it can dispense. So yeah. With QuantumSense is making sense of the unknown.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Are you ready for the quantum leap? We're QuantumSense. We provide you the semantic search and processing of the quantum era. It's precise, instant, and effortless. We solve the problem for your businesses of unstructured data that is really rapidly expanding in our societies. Think of new mediums such as social media or captured voice. That is a much more human-like, much more spontaneous style of conversation as opposed to structured data or form-based reports. The current solutions are very error-prone, fraud-prone, are time-consuming for your employees, are manually, are not automated yet. Our product allows you to automate this. It's an AI-powered semantic search that is really the top-notch in terms of accuracy and comprehensive recall. It allows you to find your information even if you don't know the exact keywords, even if it's just a semantic representation of what you're looking for. And this provides your customer with much better insights and instant decisions. It's consistent. It allows you to redeploy your workforce to much higher value-added work. It reduces the costs. It can gain you new revenue from better insights, better predictions. And this, of course, can be passed on to your customers. Currently, we see a market use cases. We have clients in 2 domains. On the one hand, in the financial space, where this actually allows you to retrieve, to fight fraud, to find the risks that your companies are facing, scams that are occurring in the business, in social media, in your data, for your clients. Or also in insurance, where this is actually the first solution that allows to automate the whole claims verification process, taking an average from 1 hour for your medical doctor to go through your claim, down to just a minute, pretty much real-time decisions. And in the 1 year we've been in operation, we've actually signed the first SaaS, so we have income for half a year already. We got 2 pilots, including a major bank and as well as a major US tech company, and 3 letters of intent. For the future, we want to optimize the use case for FinTech, have a full enterprise solution in the market, reach about 10 paying customers, and then do the quantum leap. In about 2 to 3 years, we want to deploy seamlessly for our existing customers on a quantum computer. And for our new customers, of course, start with either the quantum or a hybrid solution. And that's what I have been doing in my thesis at Oxford University, where this all started about 7 years ago. I've been writing my thesis on quantum linguistics. That's a field that originated at Oxford. That is kind of applying quantum computer science to model linguistics. So doing AI on quantum computers. And that's what we've been doing, me and my CTO Daniel, who's also Swiss, who's a real expert in scaling in IT and architecture. In Toronto, as part of CDL last year, in the quantum machine learning track, where we take it to the next step, where we almost reach human-like level understanding, so enabling much higher use cases than even the ones I mentioned here. In order to achieve this at scale, we want to raise about $500,000, for which we're really grateful to all our partners that I would love to give a shout out here, as well as to all the advisors, many of which are present now that we're part of the Holt FinTech Accelerator. Many of the advisors are present here, and I would love to give a shout out to all of you for attending, for having an interest in our venture. Thank you so much.
QuantumSense, making sense of the unknown.
All right, that's awesome. Let's give it up for technology I can't fully understand. Yeah, it's cool stuff though, that's for sure. We're nearing the end, and I have good news. Banks, you are still alive. You've been partnering and you've been working with them into the future. And one of the things you've actually pivoted into, you're a custodian of data. You're protecting the people's data. And you seek and you scout and you scrape and you get data from public sources and you give them audits and information on this and you store it internally and you only give the data to the people who actually need to see it on a needs-to-know basis. The beauty is you actually leverage our next company's technology to make this all happen. This next guest has been waiting for this very moment all his life to talk to you about this. Welcome, Sean from Owl.
I've been waiting for a teller all my life. Oh Lord, can owl.co make it right?
Thank you. Okay, I was worried you guys are going to fall asleep by now, but no, okay, that's good. I'm Sean. I'm the CEO of OWL. I'm a serial entrepreneur with my first two companies being acquired by Cosette and Microsoft. My third company grew to over 100 million in revenue before I took it public. And also Vahid, our chief operating officer, is here in the crowd somewhere, and he's an ex-BCGer who led the digital transformation of many banks and insurers. But we're here to talk to you about OWL, our company, which we're super excited about. It's grown to over $1 million in just 7 months, and we can't wait to tell you about it. But first, let me tell you a little the problem. So let's say you're a retailer, and you've spent millions of dollars on your online channel, digital channels, and thousands of people have come through your doors. Everything is great, and you're happy. That's Nancy. She was able to find the product she needs, and she made the purchase. She's the one. She's the customer you wanted. But what if she was the only one? Dun dun. Super dramatic, I know, but that's exactly what's happening to banks and insurers' digital channels today. You have a great ad conversion rate, click-through rate, 5.1%, gets a cherry. You get a 70% of those people actually request a quote, which is also amazing, also gets a cherry. But out of those 70%, only 1.5% end up making a purchase. Thanks, Daniel. So you don't get the jackpot. But the reason for that huge drop is that an agent has to take this offline, do fraud checks, identity verification, and internal compliance reviews. All that is nonsense. It takes too long. And that's exactly where we come in. OWL is a supercharged sales bot for banks and insurance with a focus on improving conversions. So if you have a product that you need to sell on your digital channels that needs to access sensitive customer data, OWL can help. And OWL sales bots ask minimum questions but gather a ton of data. In this example, you see that OWL sales bot only asks one email address from Nancy, and Nancy was able to secure nancy@gmail.com. But look at the amount of details that we get. We profile her in order to conclude the transaction and personalize the whole experience on the spot and instant. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We also verify the identity and do the KYC. We detect and prevent fraud before it becomes costly. Even when we're servicing, we're always thinking about how can we upsell and cross-sell for their customers. And lastly, we track all the KPIs that matter. All of this is done in a fully compliant way. We've built our own proprietary end-to-end encrypted platform, which encrypts the data on the user interface before it's sent to any servers. That's how we can remain fully compliant, zero-knowledge platform. We can remain fully compliant for all the regulations and satisfy all our customers. All of our bets have paid off so far. We went to market 7 months ago, and we have 7 of the world's largest enterprise already as clients. We've generated 1.3 million in revenue already, and we're projecting well over $2 million in revenue in our very first year. So if some of you here in the room can go ahead and sign those agreements we signed to, we can, andale. And so about the team, all of this wouldn't be possible without the best and brightest team. Excluding Vahid, I guess. Saurabh is my brother. He is the chief product officer. He's also architected companies turning over hundreds of millions of dollars. Alexei is one of the brightest minds in cybersecurity encryption. We actually got him a working visa to fly from Moscow and sit in our Vancouver office in order to help us. So, if you could take out your cell phones, go to owl.co, click on book a demo, and we will show you how we can identify more Nancys in your digital channels.
All right, that comes to the conclusion of our show. Did you guys have a good time? Yeah, wasn't that some cool companies? Let's give it up real loud. Let's make some noise for the companies. Yeah. Now there's one last group of people that I would like to thank before we conclude this event, and that is to all the advisors. Many of you are in the room. I would actually going to get you to stand up right now. You guys know who you are. Don't be shy. You have to start. Advisors, yes. I see the head nods like, am I going to do this? We got to stand up. I want to recognize all the advisors. Get up. You know who you are. If you've been helping our team, stand up because we could not do this with each and every. In fact, let's bring our startups out. Let's show them the appreciation that we have for you. Startups, come on out. Startups. Come. There we go. All right, second time's a charm. Now, I can't personally thank each and every one of you. I won't have the words or way to express it as quickly enough as I can, but Dan, can you?
Oh, sounds like a piece of cake. Charles Moran, Hickam Bertani, Christian Lawless, Cole Riccardi, Carl Moore, Alex Moore, Peter Enzio, Carl Jones and Kim Barry, Neil Boland, Eleanor Jari, Leonard Brody, Niblin Chevley, and Matthew Provost. We want to thank advisors. Yeah, our world is turning because you keep us earning. We want to thank advisors. Yeah, we think you're great. Let's celebrate. Krista Sonnen, Carol Brown, Dylan Weening, Eugen Chong, Brian Yee, JP Brett, and Tony Barquette. Matthew Cardinal, Ben Lesage, Philip Friesen, Alex Bente, Nacho Banner, Ruben Menava, and Liz. Sing it with me! We want to thank advisors. Yeah, our world is turning because you keep us earning. We want to thank advisors. Yeah, we think you're great. Let's celebrate. To Marcus Williams, Packard Gosh, Casey, Adelaide, Dean, Hopkins, Marco, Genovac, Damian Steele, Wayne Miller, Patrick White, Lawrence Walkout, Rob Levesque, Rich Levine, Chippy, Benina, Shahir, Guvini, and Hadra, Katina, and others. And who could forget Tony Peccia?
Tony Peccia.
We want to thank advisors. Yeah, the world is turning because you keep us earning.
I just want to thank again all our sponsors for being able to make this all happen tonight. The advisors have been all fantastic. Love you all very much. Our teams, thank you for shining and being awesome. Love each and every one of you. And to the greater community, we couldn't be here without your support through this whole time here. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an after party tonight, 9:30. Let's see you up or down. Let's celebrate the good times, everybody. Thanks, everybody.